Hello and welcome. This is the Afro Atheist. Welcome to my space. I am an ex Christian, now turned atheist. I used to be a Christian, but now I don't have any religious beliefs and I don't need any religious beliefs at all. So, one of the things that I do on my platform is to expose the very reasons why I am no longer a Christian. I asked myself the question, why do I believe what I believe? Is there sufficient reason to continue being a Christian? And of course, the answer was no. And so, here are just some of the things that I aim to highlight so you can also see why Christianity cannot be a true religion. Now, the gentleman whose ministry I will be talking about is Jerry Eze. He has the number one platform on YouTube in Nigeria. He is making a lot of money preaching about God. If what he has is a hustle, I respect a hustle. Absolutely fine. But when your hustle, you are selling to people a product that does not exist and you are capitalizing off that non-existent product, then that needs to be called out so that if the people they see that, oh, this is actually not true, but we still like it, we still want to partake, we still want to be a part of this, that's absolutely fine. But at least they have the knowledge that this cannot be a real religion, this cannot be a real God, and this person is not called by God in any way, shape, or form. Now, how is this man's ministry damaging to people? I am going to show it to you in a minute. But before I do so, please do me a favor. Give the stream a thumbs up. Give the video a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. And engage with me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Share the videos. Let's wake up many of these people who have been sucked in by this delusion on YouTube and other platforms. Right.
My name is Sister Adama. I'm sending this testimony from Sierra Leone. I joined the NSPPD prayer group in August 2021. And in September, the devil wanted to steal my joy. My 2-year-old daughter went to school.
So this online ministry, they come online and pray. And people tune in and they listen to Jerry Eze. Now, because they are convinced that Jerry Eze is indeed a man of God. So what Jerry Eze and his team tell people to do is send your testimonies so other people can hear you and they can be convinced that this is indeed a true place where God is, right? So what you have here is a woman from Sierra Leone who has turned her camera on to share her testimony. But she said something. She said the devil was trying to steal her joy. So there's a devil who just decides, I just want to go and steal people's joy today. Looks for a woman in Sierra Leone and steals, well, attempts to steal her joy. Because Christians have been convinced that the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Well, hang on a minute. Your God created that devil. And so if your God created the devil, your God created the devil to steal your joy. It all goes back to God, right? But that's not the damaging part of this video. It's yet to come.
On the 21st of September, and after school, she came back sick. She was having a very high temperature. So I gave her some drugs because it was already late in the evening. And throughout the night, she was having a very high temperature. On the 22nd of September, very early at 5 in the morning a.m., and then my daughter started shivering. She threw up. My daughter passed away. You won't believe it. Right in my hands. We started shouting, Jesus! We checked our pulse, there was no life. We checked our heartbeats, there was no life.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that this happened to this little baby, but please doubt everything you hear from a church, an online ministry, a so-called place of worship. Please doubt everything until you see the evidence, until you can verify these claims, until you can take it apart one by one. You know what went where, you can test things, you can prove things, you can, use a sort of methodology to work out what exactly happened, right? And some of these things are easily explainable. They're not necessarily miracles. These things are easily explainable. She talked about her daughter being dead. That I will put a question mark, right? Because it is one thing to see somebody looking like they're dead, and it's another thing for them to be certified dead, right? So please put a question mark. I'm not trying to discredit her story, but just put a question mark there.
Started shouting. My elder daughter just took her from me, and then we remember the testimony of that man. She just placed the phone beside her. All and behold, my daughter came back to life. She started opening her eyes as the prayer was going on, and then she started shaking. She said, "Mommy, she's back! She's back!" I said, "To God be the glory. Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist." We were praying, and then
okay, now this is where NSPPD, Jerry Eze, and this online blowing up platform is damaging to the average person that is listening in their home, right? Jerry Eze, he's making bank. By the time he turns his camera off, he's gone, right? Don't care what happens in your homes. He's off, right? At the end of the month, he's cashing out. This woman's child, according to her, is dead. What's the first thing you should do? Ideally, what's the first thing you should do? The first thing you need to do in that moment is be out of there, run to a hospital. But what do they decide to do? They get a phone recording of a testimony, a miracle of Jerry Eze. I don't know what was being said, but what do? They put that recording on the dead child's ears. Time wasting. You know, when somebody is on the brink, right? There is a number of minutes before the brain loses oxygen. A lot of things can be done in those minutes. Wasting of time, very damaging. But here we are, we're putting a phone to, quote unquote, a dead child. And now she's back. This is terrible. This is why when I heard this, oh my goodness, I felt I had to do a video. Jerry Eze, please, I know this is not your fault, but please advise people. In times like this, the first thing to do is to run to the hospital, not put the phone of Jerry Eze speaking on the ears of a dead child, okay? Because this can have very severe consequences, okay? It's what happens next as well that also gave me a bit of a bother. Let's hear it.
And we rushed to the hospital. As we entered the ward, the nurse that was in charge was also listening to NSPPD. We started praying. By the time they came back to attend to my daughter,
finally, they rush. So we're doing things the other way around. When we should have gone to the hospital, no, we were putting the phone of Jerry Eze on the ears. Now she has come to, now we rush to hospital. That's not how you should do it. Please. Run hospital first, please. You can put phone on ears later. If that Jerry Eze's recording means so much to you, please do that afterwards, okay? Secondly, she gets to the hospital. The nurse is also listening to Jerry Eze. When I heard this, I thought of the country I live in, right? Go to the hospital. If I go to the hospital, or anybody go to the hospital in the country I live in, and the nurse is busy listening to Jerry Eze while you're seeking the help, oh goodness, you don't want to know what's likely to happen. Not to you, but to that member of staff. You should not be online listening to Jerry Eze while you're at work. Well, this is Sierra Leone. I guess in Sierra Leone, anything goes. But this is the impact of Jerry Eze's ministry on the average person. A nurse at work, because she must not miss Jerry Eze. Now, at work, she's busy listening to NSPPD. What God cannot do does not exist.
She was normal. The temperature was normal. Everything was okay. The run test, everything was negative. To God be the glory. Indeed, what God cannot do does not exist. I used to hear that people come back to life. But today,
Well, guys, you've seen it and heard it yourself. It becomes a problem when a mother has a child who is lifeless in her arms, and the first thing you think to do is to get the recording of your favorite online praying machine on that lifeless child's ears. We really are taking risks that we shouldn't be taking out here. We really are taking risks. And this is why Christianity has become a religion where any and everybody can just get on the platform and claim to be a called by God preacher, called by God minister, praying machine, or whatever these things are. But please be careful out there, right? This ministry, you all have not verified indeed whether this man is called by your God. What test did anybody run on this claim of him being called by God? How do you know? Because everybody now is NSPPD and what God cannot do does not exist. I think one of these days I will come back and we will talk about this whole what God cannot do does not exist slogan that this ministry, they always chant, right? But guys, if you have enjoyed this, thank you very much. And do not forget to give it a like. Make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. There's still sin in the world. Christians sin every single day. So what did Jesus sacrifice himself for?